I'm standing in a queue of a pharmacy to buy a condom. The cashier wordlessly holds out his most lethal weapon, a death stare. The birthmark on his arm bare reminds me that everyone has blotches. So why judge those who sin differently and have different patches? I say sin because unmarried women can't have sex. Unmarried men are placed at the apex. They are never seen as objects. Because having a uterus and no spouse means that you just can't get aroused. It disqualifies you from having pleasure and sexual health rights. Your only purpose as a woman is to be tight, right? So if you've been to a gynecologist and received bhari character judgment too, let us give you a gynecologist prescription with directions for use.
Do not tell anyone you're consulting a gynecologist. Assumptions regarding your worth as a pure matrimonial partner might be drawn thereafter, even if it's an irregular period matter.
Prescriptions. Commonly used for prescribing medications for infections and also behaviors that must be morally policed upon inspection.
It is sponsored by patriarchy
And works by issuing character certificates from a health service fee and making accusations of promiscuity blatantly.
The active substance of a prescription is hymen care. Additional substances include instincts like those of a CCTV neighbor with no life.
A belief that the prescriber has a stake in your life.
That having an uncorrupted hymen is a feature of an ideal wife.
Along with a habit to constantly offer unsolicited advice.
My gynecologist asked me to change my name in her record. She said it's to avoid misunderstandings with prospective in-laws. They look into these things she thoughtfully foresaw. When did something so wayward become a standard for all?
So to avoid provocation
And complications,
Feel free to put a ring on it and use Mrs. as a prefix. Side effects include being called irresponsible for choosing to have an abortion,
being called to impulsive for having desires independent of men,
for indulging in masturbation,
being subjected to a barrage of irrelevant queries,
unrelated to the diagnosis in question,
and being threatened to spill the beans to your parents even if you're an adult woman.
आपने virginity कब lose किया?
मम्मी पापा को पता है? Patients have reported an aversion to further consultations
For the fear of being slut-shamed, even if symptoms of an STI persisted.
You see, doctors don't know what duty is when duty calls anymore, honey.
क्योंकि औरत होती है केवल लालसा, जिसे इच्छा करने की मनाही है हमेशा। वो अक्सर खंगाल डालती है अपना पूरा बदन उन सवालों को ढूंढते हुए, उन जवाबों के लिए, उन अधिकारों के लिए जो ना माँ देती है, ना कोई सहेली और ना कोई डॉक्टर। वो अक्सर पूछा है करती, पर जवाब में मिलती तो केवल शर्मिंदगी।
So if a symptom of ignorance about your sexual health, safe sex, STIs and UTIs still persist, please refer to your local smartphone for sex education.
Because it's not polite to discuss these things in the open, is it?
Please join unmarried women like us as we lead the campaign Health Over Stigma to defend our sexual health rights. And also, please sign this petition so that we can hold gynecologists accountable for judgmental behavior. Thank you so much.